2 songs and then let's do it.
Send the cash up. Killing your mic.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm always for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, sin and curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I didn't. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind field. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like Van Pelt, but ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. Try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. No. So how you feel about this truth I done shown you? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. nigga, I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In puff smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, it's all I don't. Either fold or salute, my nigga. Salute, my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. Know what it is, man. So, how you feel about this truth I done show? This ain't the life you think, little nigga, I should want. Even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, that.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it cautious. As if they make the wrong move it cautious. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on sobbing, got this bitch off the hand. Got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it cautious. As if they make the wrong move it cautious. Hey! One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking, now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping, kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it cautious. As if they make the wrong move it cautious.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. I'm Officer 1000 of Wadia, and this is the Detroit Brotherhood class. The Detroit Brotherhood class. Today we're going to be touching on a couple of subjects. One, we're going to be touching on we cannot, as a people, depend on our oppressor to save us. We have to depend on one another. We have to depend on one another. As I was looking around the last couple of days, and I'm seeing a lot of political things going on here in Detroit. You got all different kind of elections, city council, Wayne, this and that and the other, all this other stuff coming up. And the thing that I noticed is it's a lot of people who've been there, who've been in city councils and aldermen and these different things for 20 and 30 years. We've been voting for these same people, and yet our condition worse and worse and worse for us. Nothing ever seems to improve. Nothing ever seems to improve for us. As we get out there and vote, as we get out there and push and rally people to vote and get behind certain people in politics, it never benefits us. It just seems like it does. The way they talk make it sound good for us. Okay, and with that, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put Deuteronomy 17 and 15. All right. Deuteronomy 17 and 15. I'm good, Michelle?
Oh, you good, sir?
Okay. All right. Deuteronomy 17 and 15, and it reads, Thou shalt in any wise set him king over them, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. Meaning, we should only put people over us that the Most High choose. We shouldn't put people over us that's not lined up accordingly with the Most High. Okay? We shouldn't do those type of things. It says, one from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Meaning we should pick from our own people to rule over us. You cannot put an oppressor over you and expect them to look out for your best interest when all they want to do is oppress you. Not only can you not put an oppressor over you, you can't put somebody that the oppressor pick over you. Okay? These are things that we cannot do. What we have to do is we have to come together and we have to figure out what's what and what works for us, what don't work for us, how to fix us. We should be focus on lining up with the Most High and what He wants, and the way He wants us to walk in this walk. Okay. Reading on, it says, "Thou mayest not." Understand this. It says, "Thou mayest not," meaning don't do this thing. The thing that they're about to tell you to do, you don't do this. You stay away from this. It says, "Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not of thy brethren." Think about how hard we pushed for Joe Biden to get in office, and look at and how did it help us? I'll do you one better. Look, I'm gonna take you back even further. Look how hard we pushed for President Kennedy to get in office. Look how hard we've been pushing for these presidents, and guess what? It's never benefited us. It's never ever benefited us in any single solitary type of way. So we're going on, when we talk about prayer, we're going back to the 60s. And you can't show any evidence in which voting benefited black people. It's just not there. It's just not there. So as they saying, go to the polls and vote and do these things. It doesn't matter really for us. Which is why we should not even be thinking or concerning ourselves with those type of things. Let your oppressor and his people, let them enjoy their way of life. Let them enjoy their way of life. Let them have a ball. Let them party. Let them live. Let them do whatever it is that they want to do inside of their kingdom. What we need to do is separate ourselves from them, separate ourselves from how they think, separate ourselves from how they act, and do what? Start building ourselves up. Start building ourselves up, man. And doing what? Building ourselves up according to the way that the Most High wants us to do. We're not talking about men having their own ideas and somebody going off and saying this is a great idea for us. We're talking about following the structure that the Most High set up. Okay? That's what we're talking about. And that's why you can never set an oppressor up over you, because why would he, knowing who we are and knowing if we follow the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, the benefit it would be for us, why would he ever set that up as law for us? That would put him under us. That would put him under us, and your oppressor will never do such a thing. With that, we're going to hit Micah 2 and 10. Try to get through all of this. Salakia for the late start. Try to be more punctual next time. Salakia for the late start. So I'm going to try to get through everything I got here. Okay? This is Micah 2 and 10. And it reads, it says, "Arise ye, and depart, for this is not your rest." Meaning, we was bought over here, our ancestors was bought over here on cargo slave ships. And made to work in cotton fields by the threat of death, with their life hanging over their head. With their life hanging over their head. How can this be a place of rest for us? How do you think that they would look at us as anything other than their slaves inside of this kingdom? How do you think, what is the benefit of getting up and going to work every single day only to make enough to just pay your bills and be able to get back to work the next week? What is the benefit of us being in the ghettos all over America? All over this country, we pack the ghettos. How can this be a place of rest for us? When you starving, some of us don't even know where we're going to get our next meal from. How can this be a place of rest from us when we are constantly oppressed inside of this kingdom? This kingdom could never be a rest for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. It could never be that. It was never set up to be that. That's what a lot of us don't understand, man. We think everybody get along, everybody hold hands, and everything is all love. It's all love in here as long as you at the bottom. The second we start trying to arise, then you're going to see your oppressor stick his head out and show you just how much he hates you. As long as he keep us on the bottom as a nation of people, guess what? It's all good. And we'll always stay at the bottom unless we do what? What's the one thing that we have to do? We have to unite and come together and be obedient to the Most High, because guess what? Disobedience is what's got us in this condition. Disobedience is what's got us here. Not following the Most High is what got us in the ghettos all over America. That's why we packed the ghettos, because we was disobedient. Disobedience, we packed the jailhouses. We packed them. Disobedience, we strung out on drugs all over the place. These are the things that disobedience has done to us. Okay? It says, because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you. It's polluted and it's going to destroy us. Because what? Think about if we follow the morale of this country, where they tell you that it's okay for a man and a man to man and man. I don't know what I'm supposed to say there, but I hope that's right. Okay? When they tell you that that's okay, when the Most High is against that, you can't multiply and populate your people with 2 men or 2 women being together. It does not work like that. That's totally against what the Most High set up. Okay? It's unlawful for us to do something like eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They put shrimp, crab, and lobster like at the top, like it's one of the best, like it's one of the best things to have. It's at the top. It's at the top of the seafood chain. You eat some lobster and some shrimp, Mashai. That's how they do us. But the whole time you sinning. It's a sin to do that. And how do they push it and make you think it's okay? They push it through Christian churches. Everything sinful and that we should not do, they push through Christian churches to do what? To push on us. To push on us. We got any questions online, Mashai? I can't. Salaki.
How did, this is from T, how did Esau produce the white race if he was the only white person on earth?
How did Esau produce the white race if he was the only person on earth? Hey, you know what I'm going to tell you, sis? Or T, Salakia, I didn't mean to call you sis. I don't know whether you're a brother or a sister, Salakia. But you would ask that question on Scripture Breakdown class. That would be a great question to ask. Tomorrow, Captain Laban will be here for Scripture Breakdown class at 5 o'clock, but that's the time that you would ask that particular question. Salaki. Anything, they got anything else on there, Rashad?
That's the only question, sir.
Okay, kind. So yeah, that's what you do. You just hold that question. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'm gonna actually lock that question in and make sure your question get answered. So I'll bring it back up my very own self tomorrow in class. So you just tune in and you'll get that question answered. All right. So let me see you type okay in the chat. Then I'm moving on. So I know you got it.
Okay.
And it shall read known, and it shall slide you, and it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction, because everything that we do inside of this kingdom, when we follow in the mindset of this kingdom, it does nothing but do what? It does nothing but destroy us. It does nothing but destroy us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. How is that? Because we're supposed to do what? We're supposed to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what makes the difference between us and everybody else. Other nations, they can eat shrimp, crab, and lobster if that's what they choose to do for a time period. We cannot do that, Israel. We are sinning against our God if we do that.
That's right.
Okay? Other nations can do other things. We are not to do those things. We not to do those things. Those things are not tolerated by the Most High for us. Because they do those things and their nation go on. We do those things, our nation falls and we get punished. We have to answer for when we sin. We don't get away scot-free and allowed to just keep on running around sinning. We have to answer for that. Okay. Was there any other questions online?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, got it.
And here we go. She asked another question. If we follow the law, do we have to be judged still?
So if we follow the law, do we have to be judged still? That was his question.
No, I don't want to come.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. It's not that you still, because if you an Israelite and you're breaking the law, so of course you get a judgment according to you breaking the law. So in that essence, yeah, you get judged according to the law, because the law tell you what you do right and what you do wrong. Keeping the law is telling you everything that is right. Breaking it, now you in error, and now you're doing something wrong. So of course you would get judged according to that. I hope that answers your question. All right, let's get Lamentations 4 and 17. Lamentations 4 and 17. Yeah, so if you not keeping the law, if you breaking the law, you get judged according to that. Okay? So Lamentations 4 and 17, it says, as for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help. Meaning we watch for these other nations. We watch for these other nations to come and help us. Right? We think the oppressor is going to help us, going to save us, going to pull us out of this condition. Salaki, give me 1 second. So he says, so do we get into the kingdom if we follow the law? If you are Israelite, yes. If you are an Israelite, yes. If you are not an Israelite, no. You do not. Okay? So it says, Salaki. It says, as for us, our vain help, Salaki. As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help. Meaning we look to the oppressor ways and the things that he do and his ways of working things out as a way for us to solve our problems. When that's not the way we solve our problems. We don't go about things under the oppressor. Okay? The oppressor doesn't set up the course that we should run. That's not how we should operate. That's not something we should do. We have our laws. We have our statutes. We have the things that we should do as a nation. Stop believing when they say everybody can just come together. That's not true. Every nation cannot come together because every nation is going to be doing what? What's best for their people. Every nation understands that. Every nation understands we're going to do what's best for us first. We seem to be the only people who honestly believe that it's a way that everybody can come together. We really put our hope and our trust into everybody coming together. How long we been talking about this? For 50 years now? Since the 60s. We've been talking about everybody come together. And it has not benefited us as a people yet. It has not benefited us as a people yet. Okay? It says, in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Because we depend on what? Not the Most High. Instead, we depend on Biden, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, what's that lady named? Sharon McFay. Salaki, if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. She been in all different kind of offices in Detroit forever. Detroit just get worse and worse over the years. Worse and worse over the years. How can she help us? How can she help us, man? This nation, nor the ways of this nation can help us. How do we know that for sure? Look at the condition again. Look at the condition that you're in right now. You cannot tell me that you don't see, that you can walk out there and see the condition that we in right now and look around and say, this is the way things should be. No, you can look at it and you can clearly see something is wrong. Nobody has to tell you something is wrong. Nobody has to tell you something is not right. Nobody has to say those things to you. You can walk out your house and look right now and see something is wrong. Why are we living like this everywhere? Why are we living like this everywhere? It ain't just your neighborhood and my neighborhood. It's like this everywhere. Why do we pack the ghettos everywhere? Why do we pack the prison houses everywhere? Something is wrong. I tell you what is wrong. We got away from following the Most High. We got away from following the Most High and doing what He said was good. And we started looking at these other nations and thinking, celebrating Christmas and celebrating Thanksgiving and things of that nature. We started thinking that those things were good, man. We started thinking that those things were good. And those things are not good, man. Those are the very things that destroy us. Those are the very things that destroy us as a people, man. And those are the very things that we have to get away from. Okay? With that being said, let's get Daniel 8. Daniel, the 8th chapter. Daniel 8, 25. Daniel 8 and 25. Yeah, we have to get away from that because it hasn't benefited us. You cannot say since this is what I don't. It's been since the 60s. Since the 60s. And we still trying the same thing over and over again, and it's making things worse and worse for us. That is insanity by definition. Daniel 8:25, it says, and through his policy, also he causes craft to prosper in his hand. Through his policies, man. through the things that through the laws he passed, through the things that he do, he crushes us as a people, man. He crushes us as a people. Think about this, right? They had a war on drugs, man. Locked every black person up that they could think of. But when this opioid epidemic hit, man, these people were just sick people. These people were just sick people who needed help. They literally set up places to give needles out for heroin addicts, man. And had safe environments for them to go in and use their heroin. Police wasn't kicking the dough in on them, even though it was a bunch of heroin addicts in it. Through his policies, man. Through his policies and the things that he do, man. He destroy us, man. And this is why we cannot depend on our oppressor to help us, man. Because it's that simple. It's simple as a war on drugs for you, but for his people, they're sick and they need help. They don't need 20-year sentences in prison. That's not what they need. They need to sit in a rehab, get you some treatment, and if you just can't help yourself, we're gonna give you some clean needles, and we're gonna give you a safe place, a safe environment where you can use your heroin. That's that's the difference. That's the difference between somebody loving their people and somebody oppressing another people. That's the very difference right there in it. Okay? Read on. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And by peace shall destroy many. Meaning, like I was just talking about with the so-called war on drugs during the crack era, so-called war on drugs. It seemed like, when you just look at it on the surface, it would seem like they're trying to clean things up. They're trying to do things the right way. They just don't want drugs on the street anymore, and they're trying to get it out. But they're the very people bringing it in. They're the very people allowing it to come in. So you think it's just this, that, and the third, but on the surface, you think that. But underneath the surface, they really the biggest drug dealers in the dang world. They control all of the drugs that's coming in. Okay? Reading on. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. He shall be broken without hand. Of course, he's going to stand up to the prince. Who's the prince of princes, man? Christ. Christ is the prince of princes, man. You're going to try to stand up against him, man, and you're going to fail. You are going to fail. It's no way that you can stand up against Christ. And this bastard is going to try to. Salakia, give me 1 second here, y'all. Salakias. And he is going to try to, man. How much pride is in his heart? That's how much pride is in his heart, man. So, Doctor, give me one more second. I just got to check and make sure I don't have any questions. Cool. Yeah, that's how much pride is in his heart. He gonna try to fight the angels and Christ. He knowing everything that he doing. He know who we are as a people. He know all of these things. But he's still gonna fight. With that, let's get Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. Yeah, of course he gonna try to fight. Because he don't want to give up his kingdom. He don't give a damn about none of that. He don't care about the Most High or none of that stuff, man. Y'all walking around thinking he do. He cares nothing about none of that. Because he understands it benefits him none. That's why you think they push Christmas? Why would they push a day like Thanksgiving and make it seem like it was just the greatest thing ever? The Pilgrims and the Indians sat down together and had this wonderful dinner, and everybody just got along so greatly. Why would they push that? And they know it's a damn lie. They know what they did. Slaughtered the Native Americans like that, man. They know what they did, and they're going to push it like it was just a great come together and everybody sat down peaceably. They don't care about the Most High, man. And they know who we are. Let's get it. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. It said, I seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. How did the servants get on horses? We got to ask ourselves that. How did the servants get on horses, man? The servants got on horses because we started looking down at them and got off the horses and started wanting to follow the servants. And as we wanted to celebrate, have Valentine's Day and Easter, and wanted to eat pork and looking at the women of other nations, guess what? We fell to a low state. And doing every other abomination, smoking weed, using all different kind of drugs, whoring our women out. We fell to a low state because of that, man. We fell to a very low state because of that. Okay? Now the servants is on horses. Now your oppressor is in power. Now your oppressor is in power. Now your oppressor is controlling the earth. Now, instead of us being on top and following and everybody in order under us, we out of order under them. We out of order under them. They done took away everything from us, our identity, our way of life, the way we conduct ourselves, the things that make us who we are. We've allowed them to strip all of that away from us simply because we didn't want to follow the Most High. Simply because we didn't want to follow the Most High. We didn't want to do the things that put us in charge of the earth. That's not the thing that we wanted to do. We thought it would be okay if we slip off and go mess around with a woman from another nation. We thought as long as nobody didn't see us, it was okay to eat that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We thought it was okay to bring when it's time to make that sacrifice for sin, we thought it was okay to bring a three-legged lamb. Things of that nature, man. That's one thing I like about the Bible, because the Bible let us know all the sinful things we were doing. It let us know about all the sinful things that we was doing, and we can look at these records and say, you know what? These are the things we was doing. Let us not do those things no more. Let us not conduct ourselves in that manner no more. Because you can literally look at those things and see the parallel of how we conduct ourselves today. You can see the exact same thing of how we conduct ourselves today. And you can see that it's no different. It's no different. We're not doing anything different from then to now. We're not doing one single thing different. We're basically doing the same things. Okay? From here, let's get Psalms 55 and 21. Salaki, give me 1 second. Trying to get there. Okay. Yeah, it's not anything getting done different. It's basically the same thing. And that's furthermore proof that you know what? That you know we are those people. You know we are those people. Because the same thing we was doing then is basically the same things we're doing now. And that's actually one of the things I kind of noticed when I was first learning about being an Israelite, when it was first, stuff was getting first broke down to me. I was like, I was amazed. I was like, we kind of doing that today. It's kind of the same thing. No different, man. No different. Psalms 55 and 21, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Meaning the things that they tell us, it sounds so good, man. It sounds good. They're going to do this. When it come time to vote, right? When it come time to vote, they sound so great to black people about everything that they're going to do. They make the promise of doing this for you. They make the promise of doing that for you. They say, everything is going to be so amazing when I get in office. But what happens when they get in there? Nothing. Like, how many times are we going to fall for the okie doke before we realize, okay, something's not right here? Something's not right here. How many times do we fall for the okie doke, man? Before we realize it's not for us. We look and sit and depend on this as if it's the only thing that we have, when it's not, man. We have Christ and the Most High, man, and we got each other. We have each other, man, and if we build that brotherhood the way it's supposed to be built, man, we will be unstoppable. But what happened? Your oppressor he's crafty, like we read earlier. He's crafty. So what he try to do, he try to individualize us so much. I gotta get mine. You gotta get yours. A lot of us is me, 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 me. We don't even understand. We never even stop to think about a concept of us working together. We never even stop and think about it. When the truth be told, us working together, that is where our strength and our power come from. Our brotherhood is the most powerful thing that we have. That is the strongest weapon that we have. Our brotherhood will enable us we won't even have to lift a finger. And our brotherhood will bring a nation to its knees. How do we know this? How do we know something like that? What's the proof? Do we have proof? Yeah, we got proof. Think about what Black Wall Street did. And I use it's more than Black Wall Street. I use Black Wall Street because it's more known. But think about what Black Wall Street did. Like, if somebody had a problem, let's just say your garage caught on fire, and everybody in the neighborhood would come together, put the fire out, and everybody in the neighborhood would come together, and they would build the garage back up. You was never left on your own. It was always a togetherness. It was always a us. It was always a us. And because of that mindset, and because of them knowing we have each other, look at the things that they was able to do, man. The oppressor was having a depression outside of that, man. While us in Black Wall Street, we was prospering. We was prospering, man. They need us. We don't need them. Okay, we do not need them. We've always been a self-sufficient people. When we together though, we can't get back to that if everybody is thinking individually. If everybody is thinking individually and everybody thinking about what I got and what I'm doing. These are things that were purposely set into place. These is thoughts that get put out there by the oppressor to do what? Because he never wants to see us come together. He never wants to see us come together. If he see us come together, he know what? His kingdom's surely gonna fall. That's the last thing he want to see, is us coming together. Psalms 55:21, it reads, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. War was in his heart, man. Like we read earlier. We get out here and we voting things, and through his policies And the laws that he put in place, they destroy us, man. They destroy us. They don't help us out at all. It don't benefit us in any type of way. In any way, shape, form, or fashion. It does not benefit us at all. But I tell you what it do. It destroy us for sure. It cripple us. It cripples us for sure. Because what do we do then? We always think that we can look to the oppressor to do what? To help us. We think his way of life can save us. He keep us dependent on him. And by doing that, Slaki, and by doing that, guess what? He will always keep us under him. And by doing that, we will never come together. So we have to come from up under him. And we have to have a new mind frame of what? Togetherness. Following the Most High. That, like, it's nothing more important, especially at a time like this, man. If you've been paying attention and you've been watching the news and things of that nature and seeing what's going on inside the earth, it's never been a more important time for us to come together and start following the Most High and start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. We are literally on the verge of getting out of here. We're literally on the verge of getting out of here, man. We literally, we're at the end of our captivity in this kingdom, man. And when I say at the end, I don't want nobody saying that I'm talking about it's going to be over tomorrow. That's not what I mean. I don't know whether it's 20 minutes or 20 years. I don't know. I'm not putting the time on it. But I know we at the end, and how do you know? Because you see what? You see what the Bible is saying is coming to pass. You see what's going over there in Russia and Ukraine. You see what's going over there in Taiwan, with Taiwan and China. You see these things going on in the earth. We are on the brink of World War III, man. Quiet as kept. It already started. It just ain't fully blown out yet. It just hasn't fully blown out yet. Okay? So there's not a more important time for us to really really tighten up and tighten down and saying, you know what? I'm going to serve the Lord. No matter what. I'm going to serve the Lord no matter what, man. I'm going to get in class. I'm going to get in all black. And get in here and serve Christ. Like I'm supposed to. I'm going to get in here and be a part of this one body. Like I'm supposed to. I'm going to do the things I'm supposed to do. Because I'm going to serve the Most High. That's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. From here, let's get Let's get Colossians. The second chapter. Yeah, now is that time, man. This ain't the time to be on the fence. This ain't the time to be on the fence. Some of y'all been watching these classes for years, man, and been listening to us say all these things was going to take place for years. You done been on the fence for years. Now is the time to make your election sure. Now is the time to get in this body and be a part of this brotherhood. Now is that time to make your election sure, man. This is not the time. This is not the time to be lollygagging and playing around. We headed into some serious stuff, man. And you want to make your election sure, man. You want to make sure you are on the right side of the fence. Okay? We have Colossians 2 and 8. Colossians 2 and 8. Yeah, you want to make your election sure. You want to make damn sure you on the right side of the fence. You want to make damn sure you on the right side of the fence. And the UPK is the right side of the fence. The UPK and the Commander General Yohana is the right side of the fence. You will never see or find brotherhood like this, like what going on in this place. You won't find that nowhere else, man. You're not going to see it nowhere else. You hear all kind of nonsense about all other groups and things of that nature. You don't hear that about this place. And if somebody tries to attempt to slander, they always get found to be liars, man. So make your election sure, man. If you're not in this school, man, get yourself an all black. Get in class, man. Because there's no telling. You don't want to be on the fence when Christ comes. You want to be found working. You want to be found working when Christ comes. Okay? This is Colossians 2 and 8. It reads, beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit. Which is, oh my goodness, man. Which is what we go through as a people in this kingdom so much. We have to overcome the deceit from Christianity. We have to overcome the deceit from Islam. We have to overcome the deceit of Buddha. We have to do y'all know that in the 80s it was brothers, black men, walking around trying to be Chinese. They had on their little karate outfits with the little kung fu shoes. We thought we was Bruce Lee, and it was everywhere. We have to overcome so much in this kingdom. And that's why I'm so thankful for Commander General Yohana to hold on to this truth and never lay his sword down. Because it actually gives brothers and sisters a chance to do what? Come back to their identity, man. Come back to their identity, man. Come back to who they are. It gives brothers that chance, man. Because it's the one thing that nobody else, anywhere else, will give us. The truth. We won't get the truth anywhere else. Think about everywhere you've been for the truth. Think about about how many churches you done called your church house, thinking the truth lies there. Think about how many times you done switched back and forth from Christian to Muslim, or you've been a half and half. You've been claiming Islam, but doing everything Christians do. Which, it's all Christian to me, honestly. I don't care whether you a Muslim, a fake Israelite group. It's all Christian to me. But of course, I'm just using these things as examples, so you can get the gist of what I'm saying. Think about how many times you done that stuff, and you just never been in the truth. It's why this is your opportunity. This is a good opportunity right now, a great opportunity right now for you to get in class, get in all black. Study and do the one thing that you have never done before. Learn the truth, man. Learn the truth about who you are. Experience this brotherhood like you've never experienced it before. Experience something like you've never. I know some of y'all don't even believe black people can come together like they do. That's because you've never been in here. You've never been in here. You get in here and we'll show you. We'll show you how brothers love one another. We'll show you how brothers come together and unify and unite and care about one another genuinely. It's not forced. It's not made up. It's not any of those things. Brothers really care about brothers here, man. It's a genuine care. Salakia. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men. Meaning, there's no such thing as Easter, but some kind of way they connect the Easter to the Bible, right? Easter is just really a bunch of made up mumbo jumbo. There's no such thing as Christmas has nothing to do with the Bible. But some kind of way they connected Christmas to the Bible. God don't like Christmas or Easter. Most High don't. He hates both of those things. But they're what? They're traditions of men. And then you have men telling you these things are okay. Now, growing up, a lot of us, we put our trust in who? Our pastor. To morally guide us. But your pastor told you celebrating Christmas and Easter was okay. The Most High said it's not okay, man. The Most High said it's not okay. But now we learning what? Our pastors is just doing what? Following the oppressor. Stuffing his pockets. Stuffing his pockets. That's all he was doing. Gobbling up our money. And he never gave a damn about you. He never gave a damn about us. Not one care did he give about us. He just cared about to make sure him and his family was living comfortably. That's all he cared about. Him and his family living comfortably. Reading on. After the rudiments of the world. After the things of the world, man. after the things of the world. We celebrating Thanksgiving. What, 80, 100 million Native American Indians dead? We celebrate that, and we sit around at the dinner table and celebrate that? Are you serious? Valentine's Day, some little baby angel with wings with an arrow shooting people. We celebrate that? This alphabet stuff going around? We think that's okay? Like, can somebody please, what is really going on? Y'all don't see the problem? Y'all don't see the problem, because I do. The problem is very clear. We got so far away from who we are and what it is that we really do, man. It almost, if it wasn't for Commander General Yohana holding on to the truth the way he did, I don't even know if we would be able to make it back. I don't know if we would have been able to make it back. Because we done got so far away from it. And it's like we don't even pay attention. We don't even think about it. Easter come up, we doing Easter egg hunts and all this kind of stuff with eggs, and rabbits don't lay eggs. We don't even think about we don't even stop and say, whoa, wait a minute. What am I doing here? What's really going on here? What am I really doing here? We don't even think about it. We just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. And not after Christ. We see all these things in the Bible. We see Passover in the Bible. We see Feast of First Fruits in the Bible. We see Day of Atonement in the Bible. These are all the things that Christ did. You will never be able to show me where Christ celebrated Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas trees all in every Christian church all over the world. But you'll never be able to show me where Christ was a part of anything like that. Why? Because Christ wasn't with that garbage. Christ was not with that garbage, man. Christ wasn't with no Valentine's Day. No junk like that, man. Halloween. Christ wasn't with none of that stuff, man. We following all these things, but we following nothing of what Christ did. But still, some of us call ourselves followers of Christ. No, you a follower of Christ when you do what Christ, when you start doing the things Christ did. You have to do the things that Christ did to be a follower of Christ. Christ kept the law. That's what Christ did. That's what Christ did. And if you're a follower of Christ, you should do the same. You should do the very same thing that Christ did. Okay? There's no way we should be talking about we following Christ and we doing what Christ said do and all these kind of things and doing nothing that he done. That don't make sense to me. I don't understand it. I don't understand something like that. So like, you give me 1 second. Yeah, I don't understand something like that. Because what? Why are we listening to, like I said, the vain philosophies of men? Why are we listening to them when we opening up the Bible and we seeing what's in the Bible? We see what's there. We see what's there. Nobody don't have to. The only thing is, we seeing what's there and we're ignoring what's there. We're ignoring what's there. Why? Because we got some Christian pastors sitting up telling us, don't do those things that's in the Bible. I never understood that neither. I never understood something. Like when I would be talking to somebody that was in Christianity or something like that. I never understood why they looked at me like I was nothing but a sinner because I actually done what the Bible said do. I actually was doing what was written in the Bible, and they were looking at me as if it was something wrong with me. Like, what are you doing? Why would you be doing what the Bible say do? I never understood that always amazed me, and it always stuck with me. Because it made it led me, I wasn't fully in the truth. I was still coming around and still learning at the time. But it was still amazing that mindset that they had of me doing what's in the Bible and what it say do is actually the wrong thing to do. Now they reading it right here with me though. So we both seeing this in there. We both understanding that it's there. In some kind of way, I was still doing the wrong thing. They wasn't doing the wrong thing, even though they was doing everything that the Bible said not to do. But they wasn't doing the wrong thing. They didn't look at it like that for some strange reason. It always mind boggled me. I never understood that. It never registered with me. And with that, Israel, Salakia, I'm gonna close out the class. Shalom, Israel. No, how about you know Salaki? Something happened. I didn't close out all the tabs. Some is still going. I think it's the flip one. I'm already exited out. All I see on the screen now is just like the apps and folders and stuff like that. Like the apps and the folders and stuff like that. The orange line. Okay. Okay, I see it. Click on it. Okay, I clicked it. Let's see. Yeah, there's still something that's going live right now. It's just still the same class going on, but it says, yeah, it's just popped back, the class popped back up. I see the X right here, I'm on the X. When I put it on there, it turned red. Right. Then will pop up and says you have 3 tabs open in this browser. Close off. That's what I did the first time, but it still didn't click off. Yeah, I mean it clicked off, but it's still live. If I see it, that OBS, I clicked it. The class just popped back up.